It's kind of hard to tell. I'm not really restricted to anything, so it's just all with my feel right now, how my energy level is, and just really trying to get that back. So it's hard to tell with really what percent I am.
Give me an assessment of how you felt Saturday at Indiana. The telecasters said you were gassed when you first came out.
Yeah, I get tired a lot quicker right now, and they said that was something coming off the appendix surgery that was going to come with it. So I was expecting it. I was just trying to play through it, but I just get tired a lot quicker. And there's a couple times I had to call for a sub, which is fine. We realized that.
Yeah, when you talk about playing through it, the day that you had to have the appendix out, you have 11 rebounds against West Virginia, thrown up before the game, after the game. What was that day like for you?
Before the game, I felt pretty rough because, like I said, I ended up throwing up. Thought I ate some bad breakfast. I really didn't know what was going on. But I wanted to try to play just because, I was going to give it my all either way. So I did, and then after the game, it really wasn't going away. So I talked to the doctor, and he said I needed surgery. So we ended up doing it then and just getting it out of the way.
How did that impact you during the game? Did you feel like yourself playing that game?
I just felt kind of sick, like weaker. I guess like the symptoms of appendicitis are like kind of like flu-like. So I figured it was like maybe some type of sickness. But yeah, I just kind of felt weaker, like kind of sick. That was about it. Yeah.
Did you have an issue before that day? Like, weren't you looked at this summer for something like that?
Yeah, there were some symptoms previously. We kind of thought we had it all figured out, and I did too. But it just came back, and I'm glad it's out of the way now. I don't got to worry about it.
E.J., in the time that Kyle's out, obviously you're a guy that gets a little more run because you guys are sort of similar players. Just curious what you learned getting sort of increased exposure, especially in Big Ten play.
Details. It's a lot of details that you have to pick up on when playing in the Big Ten play, and how hard you have to play while you're out there every second. And I felt like that's what we were missing when Kyle wasn't there, because Kyle gets us a lot of extra plays, a lot of offensive rebounds. So I feel like in Big Ten play, you can't take a play off. So
I know you're not a guy who's lost a lot of basketball games in his career, won a couple state titles. I'm just curious what it's like for you to be in a stretch right now where the team's losing some games and every college team goes through it, but you're a freshman and this seems like it'd be a new experience for you.
It's nothing to panic about, because I remember my freshman year in high school, we won our very first game and lost like 7 in a row. So I've lost before, but past 2 years I've been winning a lot. But it's fine. It's nothing to worry about. We have a lot more basketball to play and a lot more good opponents to play, so it's nothing to stress about.
Kyle, I know Coach had said that this was the timing of this, the appendix situation was particularly frustrating for you, especially considering the stuff that happened last year as well with your leg.
Yeah.
Can you talk about your kind of mind state when all that was going on?
Yeah, no, hearing I had to have surgery and get it out was pretty disappointing because I knew I had to miss games even though I didn't want to. My body wasn't feeling great, so especially with last year being out during kind of the same time and missing some Big Ten games, it hurts not being out there with your brothers and wanting to play, but health does come first, so I just wanted to get that out of the way, and now I'm back to getting to 100%, so just day by day now.
E.J., what do you think has been like the biggest adjustment you've had to make?
Picking up on details and playing hard every play. Some plays, like a lot of games in the Big Ten comes down to 1 or 2 possession games, and you just think back after the game like what I could have done better. I wish I didn't take that play off. So I feel like a lot of plays you just have to play as hard as you can every second you're out there. So.
E.J., you mentioned learning the details and how hard you have to play. And the teams who have gone through some offensive lulls the past few games, and you're a guy who can put the ball in the basket. Has Coach talked to you about being more aggressive at all?
I've just been doing everything I can to try to help the team win. If he wants me to score, I would try to do that. But right now, we're just trying to focus on everybody contributing. He's told me if I just play as hard as I can and do other things, not thinking about scoring is going to come. So it's going to happen. So.
What would you guys say is this team's identity?
Toughness. That's got to be our identity, and I think that's something we've maybe lacked a little bit in this little stretch. So we're trying to, work on really get our edge back, just our mojo, and that's going to come with putting practice days together. Coach talks about putting day-to-day, just hard work days. So just getting our toughness back, that's got to be our identity defensively too. So, yeah.
And
How about-
Kyle, portion of this year, would you say you've been playing at 100%, not at having an appendix issue or any other
Yeah.
issue? Like, what percentage of the time this year have you been 100%?
Majority of the whole first half of the season. I mean, leading up to the appendix issue, I was having some symptoms. They weren't like crazy, but like I was noticing some like lower abdominal pain and stuff. So it really wasn't restricting me anything crazy. So I would just say the first half up until really this appendix happened. So yeah.
You mentioned toughness. Are you guys a confident basketball team? Do you lack confidence because, you know, confidence is somewhat results oriented?
No, I don't think we do. I think we're all pretty confident, especially in each other. That's one thing, like, with this group, I don't think we're ever going to be not connected. You know, no matter what we're going through, we're always going to stay together. So the confidence is definitely something, you know, maybe this recent stretch has been a little low, but, you know, we're always going to try to be confident, come out the next game playing just as hard as any other game.
E.J., you agree with that? It's gone, I think the last 4 games has gone 59, 57, 55, 54 points.
I just feel like we're all a connected group, and the ball's going to find a way in the basket sooner or later because we're all been connected throughout the losses. We've been there through the wins, and I feel like we're going to stay connected throughout the season. So this is just a little drought, but there's nothing we can't figure out. So.
There was a stretch in the game on Saturday. You went to the line a couple of times, and there was the lane violation, and it seemed like a tough sequence of events for you. As a freshman, experiencing an environment like that for the first time, what does a sequence like that teach you about where you are and what you need to do as a player?
Is that was probably one of the loudest arenas I've ever been in because it's like both sides very loud, a lot of Indiana fans. But I feel like that sequence when I missed a couple free throws in a row, I really haven't got a feel of the ball, and I felt like that was my first time like shooting the ball, and I feel like I have to get adjusted to that and play my role, and I feel like that couple possessions kind of helped us out in a way, not missing the free throws, but like just getting to the line and getting to the rim. So
those types of lessons, how much are you guys as a team still learning some of that, and are those the types of things that can help going through that? Does that help you going forward, trying to figure out how to turn around a losing streak?
Yeah, everybody on the team is still learning about themselves, and people are learning about each other still also. And this is just we just like got over the halfway point of the season, so I feel like everybody is just gonna keep improving on what we need to do and play our roles and how we're gonna adjust. So.
You guys both mentioned playing hard and the details, little things. Andre made this play where it was a live ball turnover, ran down, made the block, and then he chases down CJ's miss and puts it in for the dunk. Just that kind of effort in a game that's not going your guys' way. Like, what does that show that from Andre that you guys need to do?
Those are winning plays, especially made by a senior. You know, he's a dude that's going to give us everything he has too. So when you see him giving his all, especially this being his last year, like it just makes us want to work that much harder for him, send him out on a good note. So that's why, you know, we're working hard now just to turn this thing around and get back on track, especially for guys like him and Danny who are going to be leaving.
You guys rewatched that last game. Did the coaches point out that specific play and say, like, this is what you need more of?
Yeah, we talked about it. Just like we need more of those plays. Those are winning plays, so we definitely watched it. So.
And you talked about, like, toughness and your edge that you need to get back. I just wonder, when it seems like you have it early in the season, what do you think led to you guys losing it?
I think it's, you know, when you have success early on like we were, it's easy to become like complacent. I don't really think that was a big issue for us, but I think we became a little bit too relaxed. And that's just with losing that edge. Like we got to have that kind of like swagger to us coming out there and wanting to prove something every game. So that's really, you know, what we're trying to work on getting back right now.
You guys went through a January kind of like this last year. You had a lot of success early in the season, and we kept asking, how do you not get too high? How do you make sure that as, you know, when we have a classroom now, you guys don't get too low, and you guys make sure to stay level? Because you know you got a pretty important stretch coming up now.
Yeah, no, just with having experience and being through these situations, especially a rough January last year, is just trying to make sure, you know, younger guys know that like every college basketball season you're gonna have, you know, highs and lows. Your season's not gonna go perfect, so it's really the teams who respond well are the ones that are gonna do good. So it's really just responding now, seeing how we can improve every day and get better.
Hey, Kyle, Chris talked about how you went through a time where you were really homesick
Mhm.
and thought maybe you should be home with a regular day job, not
Yeah.
a college basketball athlete. Was that, what brought that on, what got you through it, and now that you sit here
Yeah.
today, how glad are you that you didn't give in to that?
Yeah, no, it was tough. I'm such a homebody. I'm really close to my family. You know, everything that me and my family has been through. So just leaving home and not being able to be there really was kind of the tough part for me. The first summer I spent here, I was having some trouble and, you know, some thoughts like maybe, you know, I do want to go back home. But coaching staff and the players that were here really helped me get through that. Just building relationships, you know, talking with the coaches. They're like, you know, it's going to pay off. Like, just keep working, put your head down, keep grinding. And, you know, I'm super glad to be here where I am now, especially with these past 2 years, building the relationships I have and improving in basketball too and having a good year this year. So I'm happy to be here and, you know, I'm glad they helped me through that.
What was that day job you gave up to be here? That
Oh,
he
no,
talks about.
Nothing really.
Okay.
Yeah.
EJ, would you like? Are you a rhythm player?
I feel like, yeah, I think so. I feel like if I get into a rhythm, that's when I start feeling myself. I mean, I feel like I'm still adjusting to like playing my role because past 4 years in high school, I've been the man. Everybody has been the man, but I feel like that's a lot of things a lot of college basketball players have to adjust to, especially freshmen.
But for you, like when you're a scorer, it's like that's been your role, like you just said, for the last 4 years. So like, it's like, and you obviously you knew when you got here that would change a little bit, but like how hard is that adjustment been to where you probably were on a team where you're getting 20 shots tonight, and now you've had some games where you've only gotten the ball once.
It's just like we have a lot of great players on the team, so I understand that, and I understand people have their nights, but coach always said the ball is going to find me no matter what. If I do what I can on the defensive end, block shots, play defense, and play as hard as I can, grab offensive rebounds, and the ball will find me, and the ball will find the basket.
One more, Adam.
EJ, it seems like the game got a little tough for you these last couple of games. Like you said, the scoring hasn't necessarily been there, and a lot of guys are looking for the shot right now. But when Kyle goes down with the injury, were you expecting more from yourself? Were you hoping to do more or produce more in his absence?
I wanted to come in and play just as hard as Kyle because he's a upperclassman, a leader, and he provides a lot for the team, communication-wise also. And I felt like I was just going to try to fill in a small void for Kyle because Kyle brings a lot to the team, and I just wanted to help out as much as I could on the offense end and the defense end. So.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.